It's the ongoing debate about the minimum wage increase within Ontario, which is expected to go into full effect in January of 2019. It's only a small part of a much larger picture of labor reforms being proposed under the Fair Workplaces, Better Jobs Act. Alberta was the first to increase their minimum wage to $15, and if Ontario follows suit, they will then be the second. But the question still remains, is it a good thing or is it a bad thing?
Well, for the past 2 years, what we've been doing is what we call the Changing Workplaces Review. And what that was a realization that the world of work had changed so much from the last time we looked at either the Employment Standards Act or the Labor Relations Act. Last time we looked at those acts was in the mid-1990s. In those days, as a young person entering the workforce, or myself as a younger man, the expectation was a permanent job, it was a full-time job, but that had changed. Young people that are entering the workforce today find contract work, they find temporary work, they find part-time work, and what you'll often see is people will keep their end of the bargain. They will go to school, they'll get the degree, they'll get the diploma, or they'll get the skilled trade. They'll go out into the workforce and they'll find a temporary job.
With the varying perspectives and mixed emotions amongst the local businesses within the community, there is one business owner who thinks it's a good thing, but perhaps the process was a little rushed.
I think it would have been far more practical and far more of a benefit for both the employee and the employer if it could have been stretched out over a longer period of time. Because to expect that you will jump 30% in your costs in a year and a half, you don't have time to make the changes. Because of course we're going to have to increase our prices. And increasing our prices gradually, adapting gradually, makes the impact less of a, right?
And it is the Oakville Chamber of Commerce who argue that raising minimum wage would not only create job losses due to rising costs, while also leaving local businesses to potentially close its doors.
So the province has recently increased costs for business on hydro, with the cap and trade program, costs of fuel. They've also increased pension contributions that employers need to make. So we have all those costs that are being layered on business. Now, employee costs are often a major component of a small business's expenses. So they're going to be forced to pass on costs to consumers. So a burger that you go out for lunch and pay $15 for is going to cost you $20. Or the business will be forced to cut their payroll costs in other ways. They'll need to reduce benefits, reduce hours, or reduce staffing.
While local businesses and city officials continue to prepare for the proposed and final decision to be made around the minimum wage increase in Ontario, the Oakville Chamber of Commerce continues to work with the Keep Ontario Working Group, KOW, to further address their views on the potential risks of the legislation, along while seeking further negotiations. Reporting for the Halton Insider, I'm Joey Close.